What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Logic Vault. That is Asmongold. I am the Logic Vault. I listen to this dude constantly. 9 times out of 10, usually I'm at work. But today, I'm at home. And I thought, you know what? Let's react to what he says. I'm always listening to this dude. And I mean always. And he's not the only one. I also listen to Roanoke Gaming. And I did listen to Brett Cooper. But they changed up who it was, so I don't watch her anymore. I find the new chick kind of annoying, and, you know, it's just, yeah, not for me. But, yeah, no, I'm all for Asmongold, usually what he, you know, watches and whatnot, and it's funny to me. So let's go ahead and give it a watch.
Or take advice from this health expert.
Exercise. It makes you happier, healthier, stronger, able to live out your final years on this earth with dignity and freedom. Exercise is just such a wholesome and helpful thing. Yet there are some people who think that encouraging exercise or even talking about it is toxic. And one of these people was just hired as a public health consultant. This
is real. It's on Dr. Phil. Holy shit.
Is Virgie Tovar. You may have already heard that the city of San Francisco brought her on a few months.
So she's from San Francisco. Huh.
Starting to make a little sense.
Life is full of surprises.
Months ago as a consultant for the public health department.
Right.
The problem? Well, as we'll see in this video, Virgie is not a very big fan of health. And recently she's taken this to a new extreme.
This is like in Parks and Recreation when Ron Swanson got hired to be the director of the company or the government agency just so he could make it not work. Really, it's like a double fucking agent.
Virgie's
Okay, I needed to pause this. One, because I can't say much about health. Yes, I work out. Yes, I try to keep myself healthy. But like this whole time, my fat ass has been thinking about Twinkies. So I can't really. I'm a staple of health. No, yeah, anyways.
He's been hating on exercise. Guys, I've been really trying not to talk about body positivity anymore. I made my points. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse. The ideas put forth by the body positivity and health at every size movements are silly. They don't make any sense. They're just not logical.
It's hog logic. That's what it is. It's just hog logic. You shouldn't even think about it. It's not even worth talking about.
The best way to win the war against fat is to give up the fight.
But the public health department thing.
This man said hog logic. I know why he was laughing at that.
Okay.
God, that was rough.
Caught my eye and made me wonder,
She must have a lot of stock in McDonald's.
He up to lately? So I go check out her Instagram and I see she has a problem with exercise now. So I'm like, fine.
No way. I can't believe it. What a twist.
We're making the video. So I guess today we're catching up with Virgie's fresh takes on exercise, health, and weight loss, and childhood obesity. Virgie was actually recently on Dr. Phil, and that's a large amount of what they discussed.
Does anybody disagree that we stop childhood obesity? Do you disagree with that?
I mean, I just think that it's a very big...
Big? Yeah, no shit.
How the fuck did this happen? This is crazy.
Too many spoonfuls. That's
phrase, right? Like, at the end of the day,
It's
right?
a big
Body diversity is a real...
It is in a way.
real thing. There are naturally bigger people. There are naturally smaller people.
So yeah, but first up, a very brief overview of her new job. You may already know who Virgie is, you may not, but Virgie Tovar is a prominent...
So she wrote a book. It says you have the right to remain fat. Then why is she using a photo of herself on the cover of it where she's skinnier?
Yeah, I was going to question the same thing.
Huh.
Because I was looking at that and I was
Well,
like,
how about
that
that?
doesn't look like the same person.
quote-unquote fat activist who recently accepted a new
looks like
job.
an egg.
The San Francisco Department of Health's new weight czar has gone viral for her proclamation that no
An
one
egg with
has
two
to be
chins.
healthy.
What is your definition of health?
I remember seeing this.
No one has to be healthy. No, right?
She's been hired to be a voice
How are you gassing this up?
in the room reminding officials about
Oh
stigma
my
faced by
God.
overweight people while they are developing public health initiatives. Virgie has a lot of very extreme views about health and weight, so I was
bet she does.
surprised when I saw this hire. And for me, I feel very, very strongly that I owe myself health and I owe everyone that I love health. I think I have a duty to everyone in my life to try to be behaviorally healthy. Like, I can't help if I get a disease, but I can at least try to live in a way that doesn't cause everyone else around me anxiety. That's the way I think about it. And that doesn't mean you have to like run marathons, but I think that trying a bit is your moral duty.
Being fat is bad. If you're fat, it's bad.
To a degree. Jesus. And I don't know if everyone has to agree with that philosophy.
It's just the way it is.
Probably should be your philosophy if you have a role in public health. Like, if your job is literally to increase the health of the public.
I do think that it is a problem, and it's a conflict of interest, that you hire somebody whose job is to help the public be healthier, and they don't want people to be healthy. Like, I think that's just a bad idea.
I agree.
You should have a basic interest in health. Because if you don't care about health, that's cool. You have the right to go set up a casino and cigar stand over there. But you probably shouldn't take a role in public health. I feel like that is extremely fair. But it says her job is to remind officials about stigmas faced by overweight people while they are developing public health initiatives.
What, like not being able to fit in a plane seat?
Oh, dude. God, that
like
drives me nuts.
What is stigma? Like, what do you mean?
Sorry, I was laughing. Stigma? What do you mean? No, dude, I agree with that. I've heard that stuff before, and like, most of the time, if you're too big, you won't even fly on a plane. And believe it or not, you'll actually have less people on the plane if you end up flying because you're so big that the weight distribution of the plane has to be accounted for, and for your fat ass. So it's kind of, yeah, let's hear about the stigma.
Now, at first glance, I see nothing wrong with hiring someone to be like, hey, don't worry about your weight, just focus on engaging in healthy behavior. That's a very helpful message. That could be the message that some people need to hear in order to do what they need to do to be healthy. Get your sleep, eat well, be active, try to make progress, and just do what you can from where you're at. Right. If that was the message that...
Dude, anybody see the corgi in the back? Bro, he is slumped. Totally unrelated to the video. But that dog this whole time has just been, dude, he has been out. He has been knocked out.
Virgie was hired to promote. I see that as a positive thing, even if I don't agree with the rest of her ideas. But when I looked into it, Virgie's opinion actually seems to be the opposite.
Well, of course it is, because it's just another fat, gluttonous retard that's sitting around and wants to promote their ideology so they can justify their disgusting lifestyle. That's the reason why. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. This is what they do. And the reason why it's almost all fat women that are doing this is because the entire fat acceptance movement is a huge psyop to try to make men want to date them. But they don't want to.
And nowhere is that more clear than...
You see one of these like fat acceptance movements, it's 95% women.
Her ideas surrounding exercise. So let's go take a look at her Instagram. Let's start first with this Instagram post. Virgie recently conducted a weight bias training to a group of government workers. In this training...
Does Elon know about this? Like, this is our tax money.
Annoying.
This is state funds. I mean... Gavin, who's going on Gavin Newsom's podcast next? Can we please have them? Like, can you make him react to this? Make a tweet right now. Me?
Included the following 4 tips. Ending weight/food bias at work. Helping to decrease stigma around food and bodies at work means doing less of these 4 things. Number 1, talk less or not at all about how you or others eat at work. Okay, this is all...
Absolutely not.
I see. So
no. Let's... Absolutely not. Because the other day, while my fat ass was at work, I had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 hot dogs. with chili and cheese and onions. I was a big back, and I mean large. I was chowing down, but I also don't overeat. Like, I work out. I keep myself, I don't have to eat every 10 seconds of the day. I will say, though, those Coney Island dogs were delicious. Let's move on.
Wants that to happen because she's fat and she's eating food at her desk and it's disgusting and people don't like it. And so she wants to make it a rule that you can't do that. See, in order to understand hog logic, you have to think about the prime motivating directive behind it. How can this enable the person to eat more food?
I'll never not find that funny.
As soon as you think about it from that perspective, everything else makes sense.
Hold on, I wasn't paying attention.
Think of eating more. The prime motivating directive behind it.
Oh, Jesus.
How can this enable the person to eat more food? As soon as you think about it from that perspective,
I love food, man.
everything else makes sense.
I'm also not a big
It's
back.
so easy to reverse engineer.
Already a pretty big ask of your coworkers, I think. Obviously, by this, Virgie really means don't talk about your diet. Do not talk about keto, paleo, carnivore, veganism, calorie counting, protein consumption,
can't talk about
sugar reduction, or any
And this
other.
is the other thing, right? This is another fucking Karen that's trying to tell everybody else what they can and can't talk about. And this is the bottom line. It's another, like, unfortunately not self-appointed, dumb bitch that's going around trying to use a position of authority to tell other people what they can and can't talk about. It's annoying.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
A way that suggests that you are moderating what you consume, which is a major double standard because let's be real here. What would Virgie's opinion be if Nancy from accounting brought cake to the office?
It's so rich.
You know that talking about that office cake would be completely fine and perhaps encouraged. Well, unless someone asked for the smaller slice.
CRFI. Inevitably, there's always someone
Cake related?
at the party who has to declare.
This has got to be a meme, right? I mean, this has got to be from fucking like Portlandia. Cake related, eat phobic incident.
Hold on. I shouldn't interrupt this because this is like a 42-minute thing. He was talking about Portlandia. He's referring to Portland, Oregon. I believe he's referring to Portland, Oregon. But my buddy, I have a friend that lives out there, and he tells me all the time that just people are so stupid out there. They're just dumb. But anyways, let's continue with hog trends.
The moment when it's time to eat delicious cake and it's interrupted by a marginalizing impulse, by moderating impulse, I think.
Publicly that their slice is too large.
Like, there's no way that
There's no way that the taxpayers of California are paying this woman to give seminars to a fucking trauma dump that people are telling her that her slice of cake is too large at a birthday party.
Damn.
How does this happen?
California. I used to live there.
Declare publicly that their slice is too large.
Like, there's no way that Virgie is talking about outlawing talking about food in general because she spends half of her Instagram talking about what she's eating.
What's the first one? What is this? Does anybody know what that is? I know what that is. He's behind one. I'm also behind one. That looks like a chocolate something. That looks like a cupcake of some kind. Dude. Okay, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I know y'all see my mouse. Look at this. Insane.
So obviously,
I would have never guessed.
anyone would be allowed to talk about worshiping junk food at the office, but no one would be allowed to talk about trying to improve their blood sugar levels. It's just a little bit backwards, it's a little bit over the top, and it's genuinely concerning that this was part of a presentation given to a government organization.
Can you imagine that? You work at the government, you have to listen to this shit?
Okay, next tip. Number 2, talk less or not at all about your or others' bodies at work. Okay, that's fine. Number 3, talk less or not at all about exercise at work.
I think that needs to
So
be
you're
discussed
not
a bit
allowed to
more.
talk about exercise. Again, so you have to reverse engineer. Why is it that that's bad? It's bad. Okay, so think about it. It's bad because other people can have conversations about exercise, and she feels self-conscious being present in those conversations because she doesn't exercise. So if you have to understand hog logic, it's all directly relationary. It has a direct relation to enabling them to feel good about indulging in being fat. That's what it's all about. That's the entire beginning, middle, and end.
Jesus.
So this is why I wanted to make this video. Every single person should be annoyed about this. There just ain't no way you're telling people not to talk about exercise at work. First off, that's like saying you can't talk about the weather if the weather made your health better in every single way. Exercise is just so unproblematic. It is literally one of the most health promoting behaviors of all time. Depending on who you ask, sleep might be number 1, but exercise is right
Sleep
up
is
there
good.
with it. Regardless of body weight, if you exercise a few times a week, really exercise, even if you don't lose a pound of fat, you will be a way healthier human being.
So I agree and I disagree with her, mostly because, like, so I work out at home. Push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, squats, all body weight. I did go to the gym for a while. I did use weight before. I'm not going to say that I haven't. But two of the main, or I would say two of the biggest, and I mean the biggest, and this is just truth. This is truth. You could call me a liar. I don't care. I'll hit you with the truth, and I'll tell you how it is. It is how much you eat and how much you work out. Now, I eat like a big bag, but I will also work out like I'm trying to save the world. We call that running a fine, thin line. Anyways.
Weight loss is hard, and not everyone will achieve it, but if everyone
Sleep
just
is also
committed
really
to
important.
exercise, it would be an absolute game changer health-wise. And if someone is being hired to represent overweight people in the room and not pushing this message, it's just silly. A health expert discouraging discussion of exercise should not exist. But wait, maybe
It's ridiculous. It's such a crazy inversion of logic and rationality that it's shocking that it even exists.
You know, I agree with him. Anyways, guys, we're at 12:54. Well, it says 12:54 in the video. We're at about almost 20 minutes. We'll call this part 1. And if you guys like it, you know, give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Also, give him a like. His name is Asmongold. Oh, excuse me. AsmongoldTV or AsmongoldTV. Great guy to listen to when you're working on cars, working at home, doing whatever you're doing. Great guy to listen to. I really like him. But I'll be giving you guys some reaction videos because I find this dude absolutely hilarious. But we'll call this part 1 to the, healthy something? Health expert. That's what it was. Anyways, a reaction to Asmongold and the health expert. Again, this is the Logic Vault. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, this is the Logic Vault. We do it the logic way or with no logic at all. I'll see you guys in the next one.